I graduated in 1988.
I've known them both since the 9th grade.
So that was
Like 98, 99?
98,
Yeah.
98, 99 was our freshman year of high school.
So I graduated in 2014.
And I graduated 2004.
I graduated from Malverne High School in 2002.
I graduated in 1999.
I think that year we met, that was during the marching band season, and we shared a room together in Syracuse. I think that's when our friendship was like, that's when we started becoming friends.
And I just walked in and she was already laughing. We were in the same class in 3rd grade, and she was friends with one of my friends, and then my other friend told me to meet her, and then that's how we became friends.
In kindergarten. So like I was really quiet, and then Maddie just came up to me and asked me friends.
When we were sat at the same table,
The green table.
oh my God.
I would say our energy just was goofy, silly.
I think that's what drew me to both of you, because you guys were always full of spirit. Like, any room that you walked in, it was like, I'm here, you know?
What year did we meet? We met probably when I first got to Davison.
2016, maybe 2015, I want to say.
So
I wish.
we actually met, we both worked for Davison. So that's how we met. We met working at Davison.
We met in probably 1998 when I was a freshman at Malverne and O'Neill was a senior.
So, how long was that? 23 years.
23.
So Amy and I were in a lot of classes together. Of course, I'm sure you know this. You start in the primary or elementary schools, and Amy lived in Malverne. I came from the Lakeview side where my family lived, and by design, we were in classes together. We dealt with the day-to-day of being a student, right? You deal with all sorts of issues, bullying, you deal with all of those things. So a lot of them did not have to do with race while you're still being educated. However, at the end of the day, it didn't look like it does now. At the end of the day, most of the students that looked like Amy went to Malverne, and we went to Lakeview, and there was very little interaction other than extracurricular activities after school.
But we look alike.
No, real talk. This is what we used to tell people when we were younger.
We did.
So Joe and I have lines on our noses. And when we were in elementary school, we came up with a story to tell people that we were sisters. And Joe got lighter because she moved to Alaska. And I got darker because I went to Africa. And we came back, and we used to tell people this when we were younger.
You're funny.
I was gonna say the same to
She
you.
can always make me laugh, like always.
She has this. We have the same humor. Like,
Yeah.
we laugh at each other all the time.
And I feel like that's why we became really close, is that our humor is so similar that we just clicked. So.
Well, she was definitely like my way of like opening up, basically. Like she made my personality bloom pretty much, because she was like my first friend, and then I kind of got loud from there.
It's kind of like
And social.
we kind of like bounced off of each other. So
Yeah.
now I'm like her, like how she used to be,
Yeah.
and she's like how I used to be.
I guess we started hanging out more at lunch because we sat next to each other and near each other. And I guess that made us like be closer as friends.
Make each other laugh. That's what we usually do. See?
He's funny.
But we actually kind of really became close working at the MAC program for Davison Avenue.
Anytime I'd have an issue with something, I would go to Corey, because Corey's a lot older, and he would get a lot older. He would give me some guidance. So that's basically the friendship dynamics.
What he meant to say is that I'm wiser, a lot wiser than him. So why wouldn't he come to me, you know, for the greatest advice? But
something like that.
Yeah, that, you know, being men and being, you know, hungry for success is something that I saw in him, you know, pretty much from day one. I believe, you know, I feel the same way about life. So I would definitely say we feel similar, you know, just about success and wanting to be successful.
Constantly wanting to improve.
I feel like Malvern accepts everyone for like who they are.
Yeah,
and
like it doesn't matter about
like
your
there's so many
differences.
different people.
And there's a lot of diversity. Like
Yeah.
I get to learn a bunch about like different like places.
Yeah, like we know a lot about each other's like outside
Yeah.
life and family. So they definitely like encourage that here.
And it helps you, like it brings you closer together.
Now, you see a lot more diversity and interaction between students on both sides. In fact, I would say that with respect to Malvern, you see a lot more people of color living in the actual town of Malvern than there were when I was growing up.
It's diversity. Like I said, as you see, no one ever really leaves. I went to school with Mr. Coonan. I went to school with Dr. LaVenture. I went to school with everybody here. So most of your teachers I probably went to school with. So no one leaves. That's why we stayed around. It's comfortable. You know what I mean? You kind of have your own comfort zone and you stick with it.
My mother was a teacher here in Malvern. Some people wouldn't understand the things that my mother had to go through, and teachers of color in our school district, such as Malvern. But at the end of the day, we all understood that the goal was to produce a great product and have students leave here and depart the walls here at Malvern that would make a difference in the world. So when I left, the best part of Malvern that I brought with me to Cornell was that I was able to get along with anybody.
So look at us.
So coming to Malvern and meeting Joe, and Joe being my friend, and quote unquote crossing the ocean. Actually, my first time crossing the ocean was going to Joe's house. So
It really was.
It
We had no other reason to at that point.
So as much as you both say your reasoning for coming here, or like on this side of Ocean Avenue was because of me, you were also that same opening for me in Lakeview, and had been, you know, younger years, and then but all the way up through high school, that I felt just as comfortable being in Lakeview as I felt here, and just as accepted in Lakeview as you felt here. And I think that's so much of the foundation of that understanding and shared experience, and understanding that there's experiences that my closest best friends have had that I have not.
For Malvern, it's not so big where you don't feel like you have a place of belonging, but you have that sense of belonging because you know people, you know the community, you know the teachers. So yeah, I would say like that's really Malvern's culture to me.
Very special place, and I think that people who haven't grown up here and aren't part of our schools in our district don't really understand it. It's hard to explain, but it's a really special place. It's a really special place to raise our children that we know will celebrate all facets of who they are.
The thing that Malvern, I believe, brings forth, and which is such a gem, is the opportunity to meet all different types of people from all various backgrounds, socioeconomic statuses, racial backgrounds. But the most important part is that when you cross that stage, that you're a better person, and that you're able to take everything that you've learned here at Malvern and do good in the world.
So this is what Malvern does. Here we are.